Welcome back to the ins and outs of sex. You're back once again with me, Chris, and my cohort, Katrina, as we take you through the most awkward aspects of sex and how we can make it a little bit less awkward. And this week is something that is a little bit awkward for me, as we're going through the sense of smell. And I'm going to cough right there and then to make it a bit more, to feel a bit more real. So you know I'm a real person. Yeah, we're going to go through the olfactory sense. I'm not cutting that. We're going through the olfactory. That was a great intro. Going through an olfactory sense. Because sense of smell plays such an important part in how much you find a person attractive. If someone walks past you in a bar and you're like, ugh, you're never going to go up to them and say, yes, please. So, Katrina, what can we learn for love play and the sense of smell?
Thank you so much, Chris. And the cough in no way, shape, or form made it any more awkward.
That was my awkwardness coming out of my body. It was like, oh, we're gonna talk about sex.
Shedding it.
Yeah, it's trying to get it. It's like the bees. That's what it is.
Absolutely. So, out of all of the senses, and there's still a lot sort of debate in scientific community about them. But there is a notion that the sense of smell is actually one that's linked strongest to our emotions, to our sort of emotional state, and to our memories. So if you walk into a room and I know, funny scenario, say that you had a clothes peg on your nose, couldn't smell anything, but you saw Christmas dinner laid out on a table. It would evoke some emotion. It would make you feel possibly hungry. It depending on how you felt, maybe it would even bring some memories.
Yeah.
Now, that would be obviously your sense of sight. Possibly, maybe if there was something you could hear, I don't know, maybe your sparklers going or something. However, if you were led into the room, so blindfolded, so you couldn't see, but you could smell roast turkey, parsnips, just your full spread for a Christmas spread, almost guaranteed that you would suddenly be transformed. It would go beyond hunger, and your memories and emotions of Christmas dinners would be activated so much stronger than with sense of sight. So smell or olfactory sense is incredibly important for that emotional and memory connections. And why sex and sense of smell? As you say, it has the potential to completely switch you off and find somebody absolutely just not interested. However, it has the potential to do the exact opposite. And when I'm talking about doing the exact opposite, this goes beyond just the ideas of perfume or cologne or just the things we use. There's also something to be said about our own scent, our bodily scent. And again, we're not talking, having washed for 3 weeks, run 2 marathons and works manual labor every day. We're talking about somebody who may be washed in the morning and then just been moving around during the day. So there is that little underlying scent of their own body.
Musk.
That can be very, musk is a brilliant word, absolutely. That can be very arousing. That can be very arousing for both partners.
Yeah. I'm not going to go into my personal preference, but it can be. You and not only that is if you walk, you reminded of them when you lie on the bed and you smell them on the pillow, and when you walk past them in the kitchen and you're like, oh, that's like a bit of that. They're always, and it's not just their body smell as well. It's like just a little bit of their perfume or their cologne or their body spray. If you smell someone else like that, it just reminds you of that person, and it can awaken those feelings in you again. I'm not for the new person. I'm not saying it inspires you to cheat on them. I'm saying it can reawaken thing. So how can we use the olfactory sense? How can we use it, Katrina?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. It does, because it activates your memory. It will activate the memory of the person you associate that scent with. So how can we use it? So it will depend very much on individuals, on the couple, and on their preferences. I know that when I feel emotional connection to somebody, I do often enjoy actually smelling them and knowing their own musk. And I do find it quite erotic, which is why I will quite happily acquire, not steal, my partner's t-shirts or hoodies, the ones that they don't just smell of their perfume or their cologne, they smell of them.
Yeah.
So there is that a bit of that natural musk there as well.
Yep.
Which creates that connection, and it deepens the connection between the couple. But there's also little ways in which additional spark can be reignited. So spraying a bit of perfume or cologne on a handkerchief and giving it to the partner when, say, they're going away, so they have something that they can remember you by. And because it's the scent, that memory is stronger than if it's, say, just a photo or a memento of some sort. Then it can also be incorporated into erotic play between the partners.
Yes.
So blindfolding a partner, and again, having the blindfold sprayed with that cologne or the perfume.
On the outside of the blindfold, I should say, on the outside of the blindfold. You do not want to spray cologne on the inside of a blindfold.
I was actually going to suggest on the ends, so where you tie, so in the back,
much
so
better.
the scent is there. So incorporating the scent into the bedroom and knowing each other's scents can be very sensual and can create nice memories and keep that spark, keep that flame and interest absolutely alive.
Yep. Makes sense. I know that I have had scarves and things. So my wife made a scarf for me and she put some of her perfume on it, and I used to wear it around all the time, and I'd think about her. And then I made the mistake of trying to, because the smell died, obviously it does. So I tried to re-add it myself, and I put way too much on. And so that smell lasts. It's been 10 years. It still lasts. It's still to this day that scarf is still smells. But every time, you're just reminded of that person. So you say scent on a scarf would help. That would be a great thing to do. Is there any other ways that you can think of that you'd recommend? Or even better, is there a way that personally you can take care of yourself to make yourself more attractive to your partner via the sense of smell? Is there anything like that?
Absolutely. So just before I go into that, one thing based on what you said, yes, it's spray, not fumigate.
Spray, not fumigate. I will remember that. And also, any teenage boys listening, Lynx Africa is a privilege, not a right. Spray, not fumigate. You do not need...
Exactly.
It's not a bottle per use.
Spray, not fumigate.
Lynx Africa, spray, not fumigate. We don't need to know that you are using Lynx Africa. One can is not one use only.
Exactly. So to go back to your point,
yes,
and it also kind of relates to what I just said. Obviously, I would like to think, obviously, the perfume or the cologne is not to replace showering.
No.
And wanting to exude some of your musk, again, is not a suggestion to never shower.
Yeah.
What I would say is, indeed, don't overdo it. Don't, scrub yourself, and get rid of, some of your DNA, and, give yourself third degree, chemical burns because you scrubbed yourself so much. But, be fresh, be washed. And again, then don't drown yourself in different deodorant and on top of that, different cologne or perfume. You do not want to smell like a perfumery when you are with your loved one. Now, especially for the ladies, the suggestion is spraying on the inside of the knee, on the inside of the elbows, are areas where the scent won't be overpowering of the perfume. It won't be overpowering, but it will actually stay a little bit longer.
Right. Makes sense.
Also, another suggestion, and that's although be careful with this one. Spray it in front of you rather than directly on the body, and then walk into it. For two reasons. One, again, it helps you to not smell like perfumery, which is just too much. And secondly, that way you're not creating a spot on your body that tastes like perfume when then somebody goes to actually be intimate with you, because there's nothing as off-putting as kissing somebody on their neck and then suddenly I can actually taste it as I'm saying this, you taste that wonderful chemically taste of either cologne or perfume or something. So spray it in front of you and walk into the mist is a bit of an old-fashioned but absolutely good way to do it. That means that then when actually you go into being intimate with your partner and you start kissing and you start touching, you don't taste like perfume.
I mean, we've all done it. We've absolutely all done it. So we've all done it.
And there is no need.
I don't have it. I used to have Hugo Boss, and I gave myself a headache from how much I put it on. So I no longer use Hugo Boss. I even liked at one point that one that Johnny Depp, like Sauvage, which my daughters call sausage because it looks like sausage. But I haven't put it on anymore because again I did that thing where I like put 2 or 3 sprays on rather than walk through. I sprayed it on. Again, spray don't fumigate. It's a valid thing. So to wrap up, because this is it's not a big subject and it's not a contentious subject. I think we all agree. There's no one at home disagreeing on any of these points.
It's an important one, though.
It is an important one. That's what I was just going to say is if someone came to you and said, I want to bring more eroticism into the bedroom, where would you rank smell on the hierarchy of sexual needs for the bedroom? Sexual needs, you know what I mean. So where would you rank it on the scale of, you got, I think obviously personal appearance can be a point, but where is smell in order of importance? What would you say? How important is it?
So I would say it's right at the top, and that's why it's so important, because people forget, given how strongly sense of smell connects us to our memories. If your smell doesn't really match with this memory, this erotic memory and experience you're trying to create for you and your partner, then it's not going to work. They will either not want to remember, or that scent is going to remind them of something unpleasant, and that's what they can potentially then associate it with. So I would say it's probably at the top with some other aspects, but often overlooked. Whether it's overlooked because we do, as you say, we all do it, we all forget, don't sort of overspray it, and then, yes, we may smell nice, but then our partner goes to kiss us and all they do is nom, 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 nom with their mouth because they can taste it. Or, somebody, just emptied half the bottle, and again, the partner's, lying there being like, oh my God, I'm about to get a migraine because, the smell is killing me. It's so easy to either overlook it or overdo it. So I would say it's definitely somewhere at the top of other important aspects. And you want to get it right. You want to be mindful of it.
Be mindful. That's a different kind of mindfulness. And absolutely, and if you say it, Katrina, it must be so. That's it. That's it's true. So thank you everyone for joining us again in the ins and outs of sex. Remember, if you have a topic that you would like us to talk about, you would like us to cover, drop us an email at the email address below if you're on YouTube, or in the description if you are listening to this at home. I've been Chris, and this has been Katrina, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks. Say goodbye, Katrina.
Bye.